Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
The earth is in the process of transformation. A separation, such as when a cell divides. Half will remain in the third dimension, the old earth, where there is conflict and violence. The other half will ascend to the fifth dimension, the new earth, where no negativity can exist. All across the world, there are internet content creators that are sharing new information to raise your consciousness and prepare you to ascend to the new earth. Join me, Naima Latif, every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Time, and we will introduce to you these voices of enlightenment. Grand Rising! And thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition of Voices of Enlightenment. I'm Naima Latif, and as always, I am grateful to be with you on this day because we get an opportunity to reflect on the wisdom that is being shared all across the planet to prepare us for what is coming. And what is coming is not something to fear. It's something actually to rejoice and make us glad, because we are seeing a change. However, you're not going to see it if you are distracted by disinformation that's designed to keep you from awakening. We've been put to sleep, not just for the last few decades with the advent of television, but for centuries, by programming from those who have assumed authority and made us believe that they have the right to have authority, so that we never question what we're told. And we've been told a series of lies. So today we want to remind you of that which you already know deep within your soul. And once you hear it, it will trigger a memory. But before we do that, let's take a pause. We want to greet our global family that's joining us from all across the world. And we're going to talk about that saying, we are one. We say that all the time. What does it really mean? What does it mean when it's said throughout spiritual teachings, even religious scriptures? Some of the great teachers and seers of our time, those who have manifested deep understanding and wisdom, and they say, we are one. What does that mean? And what does that look like once we discover the truth of it? And how will it end this incessant conflict and violence and fear that keeps us manifesting a world that we don't want? How do we get to where we do want? Well, let's remind ourselves that we are one world, one global family, and all of us are a part of it. So let's greet our global family, and then we'll be right back and talk about that saying, we are one. And those among us who are giving us insight into knowledge that has been withheld from us. And we'll even hear a word from God. As shared with just a regular guy, Neale Donald Walsh, whose Conversations with God became a very popular book series, turned into an audio series that is revealing some things that contradicts a whole lot of religious thought, but it makes sense. We'll be right back. So stay with us.
We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom.
In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you. Yes, we do want to talk to you, and we want you to talk to us too. And feel free to add your comments as we explore a basic question. What does the saying, "we are one," actually mean? Well, we are one universe, most definitely. And we are one people, one system, one energy. So before we go outside of the one earth that we're all familiar with and speak to those from outside of our earth, let's talk about a conversation with God. Now, one of the big dividers among the human family has been, what is this entity that has created the universe? And even so-called modern science, which is really just the understanding that we have up to this point that we've all agreed is true. And it's so much just a drop in the bucket. But from what we have observed, we know that everything seemed to have all been just one big mass, and then suddenly there was an explosion and everything appeared to have just exploded out. And that's the Big Bang theory that our scientists talk about. Well, in various religious scriptures, and certainly in the scripture of the Muslims, the Holy Quran, there is a description of all being one big mass and then exploding out. Just kind of confirms the Big Bang theory, which isn't a theory, it's actually an observable force. We can see that energetically there's an expansion of energy. So what does that mean? Well, what we hear from many of those who are coming back after either an experience of having a clinical death, many call it a near-death experience, where they have left their bodies and gone to another experience of consciousness. They have observed that the universe is ever expanding. And some have even reported being told that all things are truly one thing. There is one energy of creation that we call God, and we are all a part of it, all pieces of it, all expressions of it. There's only one energy of creation, and we're all a part of it. And yet this experience that we're having on earth gives us the illusion of being separate. And so because the earth experience is a bit of a unique experience, we don't remember that we used to all be connected and that we are all part of the one energy. And many who have had near-death experiences come back with a recollection of having re-experienced oneness, where they can feel the feelings of others, and they observe during their earthly experience the feelings of others that they interacted with, and they understand clearly how they affected others because they could feel the feelings of others. So this phenomenon is very difficult for people to understand if they have not had an alternate conscious experience. They just simply can't comprehend it. And this is why, even though there are thousands and thousands and thousands of near-death experiencers giving their testimony about what it means to be part of the oneness, that you actually are your neighbor, love your neighbor as yourself because your neighbor is yourself. We are all part of the one. You can't comprehend that if you've never had an alternate consciousness experience. You just can't comprehend it. And so old belief systems are difficult to let go of because the indoctrination teaches us that God, the source, all that is some angry, punitive being like our parents, irrational like our parents, blaming us for being inadequate like our parents. And so we go through life feeling like nothing, feeling like we're always inadequate, always unworthy. We go through life believing that about ourselves, and that's not true. So in the book, Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsh, and he recalls in a moment of despair, he was at a point of homelessness. He had been in an accident, couldn't work. He just, at his lowest point, he cried out to God, just tell me how this thing works. And of course, the voice came to him saying, are you just venting or do you really want to know? And that began a conversation with God. And he started transcribing what he was hearing. And it became a book series. So we're going to share with you an excerpt from book 2 of the series, Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsh. And we want to share with you a part of the conversation in which it's being explained that our concept of separateness is so incorrect, and our concept of our unworthiness is so incorrect. And until we correct these things, we can't appreciate that we are all a part of the oneness of creation. And God has never been angry at us or seeking to punish us because we are all God. We are one. So let's take a look at the Conversation with God book series. And what Neale Donald Walsh did is get 2 of his actor friends to do the voice of God, because the energy of creation is neither male nor female. So he got 2 actors with profound voices, Ed Asner and Ellen Bernstein, to alternately portray the voice of God, so that we would not characterize that entity of creation as male, as has been done throughout our history in many of our cultures, but has also been characterized as female in other cultures. So now it is both. So let's take a look at Conversations with God, Book 2 by Neale Donald Walsh, and then we'll come back and contemplate what we've heard and consider how this may contradict what we have been led to believe in our religious teachings that most certainly teach us to condemn ourselves, to despise ourselves, and to believe we are worthy of punishment because of our so-called sins. What if all of that is wrong? And can you believe someone who says, God spoke to me and told me these things, and this is what God said? So in this portion, Neale Donald Walsh has just had a very intense conversation about the oneness, the unity, and the fact that we're all co-creators in creating the universe, the world in which we live. And there is no punishment or wrath of God. There's only love. Can we believe that? Let's listen now to Conversations with God, Book 2 by Neale Donald Walsh.
When does the soul join the body?
According to the highest laws of the universe?
I do. And do you take me now as your partner and co-creator?
I do. And I always have. Now and through all eternity, we are one. Amen.
And amen. When does the soul join the body?
When do you think?
When it chooses to.
Good.
But people want a more definitive answer. They want to know when life begins, life as they know it.
I understand.
So what is the signal? Is it the emergence of the body from the womb, the physical birth? Is it the moment of conception, the physical joining of the elements of physical life?
Life has no beginning because life has no end. Merely extends, creates new forms.
It must be like that globby material in those heated lava lamps that were so popular in the 60s. Remember that? The globs would lay in big, soft, round balls at the bottom, then rise from the heat, separating and forming new globs, shaping themselves as they rose, rejoining each other at the top, cascading together to form even larger globs of the all, and starting all over again. There were never any new globs in the tubes. It was all the same stuff, reforming itself into what looked like new and different stuff. The varieties were endless. It was fascinating to watch the process unfold over and over again.
That's a great metaphor. That's how it is with souls. The one soul, which is really all there is, reforms itself into smaller and smaller parts of itself. All the parts were there at the beginning. There are no new parts, merely portions of the all that always was, reforming itself into what looks like new and different parts.
There's a brilliant pop song written and performed by Joan Osborne that asks, what if God were one of us, just a slob like one of us? I'm going to have to ask her to change the lyric line to, what if God was one of us, just a glob like one of us?
That's very good. And you know, her song was a brilliant song. It pushed people's buttons all over the place. People couldn't stand the thought that I am no better than one of them.
That reaction is an interesting comment, not so much on God, but on the human race. If we consider it a blasphemy for God to be compared to one of us, what does that say about us?
What indeed?
Yet you are one of us. That's exactly what you've been saying here. So Joan was right.
She certainly was, profoundly right.
Well, I want to get back to my question. Can you tell us anything about when life as we know it starts? At what point does the soul enter the body?
The soul doesn't enter the body is enveloped by the soul. Remember what I said before? The body does not house the soul, it is the other way around. Everything is always alive. There is no such thing as dead. There is no such state of being. That which is always alive simply shapes itself into a new form, a new physical form. That form is charged with living energy, the energy of life, always. Life, if you are calling life the energy that I am, is always there. It is never not there. Life never ends. So how can there be a point when life begins?
Come on, help me out here. You know what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, I do. You want me to enter the abortion debate?
Yes, I do. I admit it. I mean, I've got God here, and I have a chance to ask the monumental question. When does life begin?
And the answer is so monumental you can't hear it.
Try me again.
It never begins. Life never begins. Because life never ends. You want to get into biological technicalities so that you can make up a rule based on what you want to call God's law about how people should behave. Then punish them if they do not behave that way.
What's wrong with that? That would allow us to kill doctors in the parking lots of clinics with impunity.
Yes, I understand. You have used me and what you have declared to be my laws as justification for all sorts of things through the years.
Oh, come on. Why won't you just say that terminating a pregnancy is murder?
You cannot kill anyone or anything.
No, but you can end its individuation, and in our language, that's killing.
You cannot stop the process wherein which a part of me individually expresses in a certain way without the part of me that is expressing in that way agreeing.
What? What are you saying?
I am saying that nothing happens against the will of God. Life and all that is occurring is an expression of God's will. Read that, your will, made manifest. I have said in this dialogue, your will is my will. That is because there's only one of us. Life is God's will, expressing perfectly. If something was happening against God's will, it couldn't happen. By definition of who and what God is, it couldn't happen. Do you believe that one soul can somehow decide something for another? Do you believe that as individuals you can affect each other in ways in which the other does not want to be affected? Such a belief would have to be based on the idea that you are separate from each other. Do you believe that you can somehow affect life in a way in which God does not want life to be affected? Such a belief would have to be based on an idea that you are separate from me. Both ideas are false. It is arrogant beyond measure for you to believe that you can affect the universe in a way with which the universe does not agree. You are dealing with mighty forces here, and some of you believe that you are mightier than the mightiest force. Yet you are not, nor are you less mighty than the mightiest force. You are the mightiest force. No more, no less. So let the force be with you.
Are you saying that I can't kill anybody without his or her permission? Are you telling me that at some higher level, everyone who has ever been killed has agreed to be killed?
You are looking at things in earthly terms and thinking of things in earthly terms, and none of this is going to make sense to you.
I can't help thinking in earthly terms. I am here, right now, on the earth.
I tell you this, you are in this world, but not of it.
So my earthly reality is not reality at all?
Did you really think it was?
I don't know.
You've never thought there's something larger going on here?
Well, yes, sure I have.
Well, this is what's going on. I'm explaining it to you.
Okay, I got it. So that means I guess I can just go out and kill anybody because I couldn't have done it anyway if they hadn't agreed.
In fact, the human race acts that way. It's interesting that you're having such a hard time with this, that you're going around acting as if it were true anyway. Or worse yet, you are killing people against their will as if it didn't matter.
Well, of course it matters. It's just that what we want matters more. Don't you get it? In the moment we humans kill somebody, we're not saying that the fact that we've done that doesn't matter. It would be flippant to think that. It's just that what we want matters more.
I see. So it's easier for you to accept that it's okay to kill others against their will. This you can do with impunity. It's doing it because it is their will that you feel is wrong.
I never said that. That's not how humans think.
It isn't? Let me show you how hypocritical some of you are. You say it is okay to kill somebody against their will so long as you have a good and sufficient reason for wanting them dead, as in war, for instance, or an execution, or a doctor in the parking lot of an abortion clinic. Yet if the other person feels they have a good and sufficient reason for wanting themselves dead, you may not help them die. That would be assisted suicide, and that would be wrong.
Now you're making mock of me.
No, you are making mock of me. You are saying that I would condone your killing someone against his will, and that I would condemn your killing someone in accordance with his will. This is insane. Still, you not only fail to see the insanity, you actually claim that those who point out the insanity are the ones who are crazy. You are the ones who have your head on straight. and they are just troublemakers. Now, this is the kind of tortured logic with which you construct entire lives and complete theologies.
I never looked at it quite that way.
I tell you this, the time has come for you to look at things a new way. This is the moment of your rebirth as an individual and as a society. You must recreate your world now before you destroy it with your insanities. Now listen to me. We are all one. There is only one of us. You are not separate from me, and you are not separate from each other. Everything we are doing in concert with each other. Our reality is a co-created reality. If you terminate a pregnancy, we terminate a pregnancy. Your will is my will. No individual aspect of divinity has power over any other aspect of divinity. It is not possible for one soul to affect another against its will. There are no victims and there are no villains. You cannot understand this from your limited perspective, but I am telling you it is so. There's only one reason to be, do, or have anything, as a direct statement of who you are. If who you are as an individual and as a society is who you choose and desire to be, there's no reason to change anything. If, on the other hand, you believe there's a grander experience waiting to be had, an even greater expression of divinity than the one currently manifesting, then move into that truth. Since all of us are co-creating, it may serve us to do what we can to show others the way that some parts of us wish to go. You can be a way shower, demonstrating the life that you'd like to create, and inviting others to follow your example. You might even say, I am the life and the way, follow me. But be careful. Some people have been crucified for making such statements.
Thank you. I'll heed the warning. I'll keep a low profile.
I can see that you're doing a real good job of that.
Well, when you say you're having a conversation with God, it's not easy to keep a low profile.
As others have discovered.
Which might be a good reason for me to keep my mouth shut.
It's a little late for that.
Well, whose fault is that?
I see what you mean.
It's okay. I forgive you.
You do?
Yes.
How can you forgive me?
Because I can understand why you did it. I understand why you came to me, started this dialogue. And when I understand why something was done, I can forgive all the complications that it may have caused or created.
Well, that's interesting. Would that you could think of God as being so magnificent as you.
Touché.
So, of course, as you can see, the God that Neale Donald Walsh speaks to has a sense of humor. And in these conversations with God, a concept is introduced that may be difficult for someone living inside a physical body to really comprehend. We are all one entity all across the entire universe. And what does that look like if all of us are interconnected? And yet people will come back from a near-death experience trying to explain what they saw that demonstrates this. And they say, there are no words to explain what I saw, that everything was connected to everything. And all of us are part of the one thing. And I could feel other people's feelings. And when in that realm, I was able to see how my actions affected everything else. And I was able to feel how others felt when I behaved as I behaved. So that perspective changes the way we make decisions. If you know that hurting someone is hurting you because we're all part of the one thing, then all the systems that we create would be for the well-being of everybody, instead of being for a select few to the exclusion of others, so that masses of people are suffering. We would stop creating systems that do this if we understood the reality of creation as explained by God in talking to Neale Donald Walsh. The book series Conversations with God, of course, was and is very popular. And yet there are those that remain skeptical and are holding on to a very popular book, the Holy Bible, as it's called, which is documented as having been rewritten and reinterpreted by a council of people at a place called Nicaea, where 3 centuries after the one we know as Jesus had the experience of a public execution. 3 centuries later, a council made up of the very same kind of religious leaders that challenged his teachings chose to reinterpret what was said. But here there's an allusion to that saying, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Meaning that if you follow my example, because I am aware of the oneness of creation, I'm going to show you the way to live. That's what that saying meant, as was just alluded to in this conversation. And yet, that very statement was misinterpreted right in front of our faces and continues to be to this day. So we still are not following the example of one who understood oneness and said, follow my example. Follow this way. So we're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we're going to take a look at some words shared by one outside of this earth who is explaining what is happening in terms of the changing of the earth after so many centuries of turmoil, so that we can, in fact, live in that state of oneness. Are we ready? We'll be right back after this quick break, and we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away, and feel free to add your comments to this conversation. What are your thoughts about the conversation with God as transmitted by author Neale Donald Walsh? And how does that change our philosophy and perspective on who we are and the power that we have to create our reality? He said there's no victims and there are no perpetrators because we all have the same power. We'll be right back after this quick break, so stay with us.
Welcome to Master Force with Mushim Suit. Join us each week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, live on Facebook and YouTube on the Female Solution page, as we dive into powerful topics designed to assist you in mastering your life force. Our conversations feature a diverse lineup of experts, all dedicated to your growth. Tune in weekly to discover new ways to elevate your spirit and raise your vibration. And remember, we are ascending.
Have you seen all the solar farms popping up everywhere? You know, the big fields with the solar panels. There's one in our community. They produce electricity using the clean energy of the sun to send to the power grid to reduce our energy costs. Because not everybody can get solar panels put on their roof the way I have, but everybody can enroll for free to share the energy produced by the solar farms. That's why they were built. You know you're supposed to be getting a 10 to 20% savings on your bill for that, right? Illinois has a goal to transition by 2050 to 100% clean energy. So everybody needs to be connected. People in other communities are already getting their savings. So I'll be by to see you because they want to make sure you get your savings as well. It just takes a few minutes. I'm Naima Latif.
Call me if you have any questions. 312-849-3456.
Because my little brother, in which we're doing this documentary for, Douglas Robinson, your death will not be in vain.
He was a heck of a great dude. And I love Doug. Doug loved me.
Just being around him, he had a good spirit. He was a healing person.
They are there.
Get SROs back.
When you give to the poor,
should not be forced out of their neighborhoods when it goes through a period of transformation.
Because there are too many people who are losing their homes to taxes because they can't pay a $1,000 tax bill.
We are back, and you are watching Voices of Enlightenment. I'm Naima Latif, and today we're asking the question, what does that saying, "we are one," really mean? We're taking a look at what we all are as part of the one energy of creation we call God. We are all one. We're all part of that. We are all God energy, the force of life. And as was just said, there's no such thing as death. Now, this is what the one we call Jesus was striving to demonstrate to his followers. Death is not real. There's only life. And there's only life because that's what existence is. Life force energy. And all things are part of the one thing, that one energy of creation. We are all energy. Even the earth that we live upon is a being, a conscious being. So now we're going to take a look at some insight by one who remembers other incarnations, particularly from the Pleiades star system, in which other beings are more conscious when it comes to how to interact with each other. But here on Earth, we have done such horrific things to the planet where we live and to each other that we've created negative energy. And the Earth is giving us signals and attempting to communicate with us, soul to soul, so that we understand. Well, let's take a look. As Alaje, one who has shared his insight as a being incarnating from the Pleiades with a message in his series, Love is the Solution for Everything. And in this part 12, explaining how the earth is seeking to communicate with us to stop our incessant violence with each other and toward the earth, so that we stop self-destructing and that we can be aware of this oneness that we all are, and we can choose to create a different reality other than that which we continue to create, causing harm. And what it means when we're seeing storms, because the earth is seeking to purify itself of this negative energy. Are we getting the message? We're going to take a look at crop circles, those intricate designs. They are formed mysteriously, and Alaje explains the mystery behind those intricate geometrical designs that just appear in fields where they can be seen from above as very organized designs. Who made them and why? Let's take a look.
Greetings, this is Alaje from the light dimensions of the Pleiadian star system. Alaje is my Pleiadian name and has nothing to do with anything on Earth. Planet Earth is in a process of transformation in order to get into a higher dimension in a higher frequency and vibration. In order to achieve this, the planet must be free of negative energies. It is time that Earth people begin to think about healing the planet. It is time to use true love. For you, for others, and for the nature. The change has to happen in the heart, so that the energy can have an effect on the outside. That is a lesson that Earth people have to master in order to get into a higher stage of evolution. The use of true love. True love is a solution for everything. The cause of everything in life is energy. Everything is manifested energy. Every thought and every emotion creates the life that you can see outside. As long as most Earth people create hate, arrogance, fear, ego, greed, fraud, and are glorifying violence and perversions, they act against the universal laws of existence, against love, which of course leads to self-made suffering, drug-taking, and criminal behavior. In the nature, the existence will try to heal these destructive energies with floods, earthquakes, volcanoes, and storms. As long as the big companies are destroying planet Earth by exploiting excessively just to make their own profits, they create environmental disasters and negative karma, and they will push millions of people into suffering, destruction, starvation, poverty, and diseases. As long as money exists on Earth, you should use it wise for spiritual purposes, to give all people on the planet food, shelter, and knowledge of the universe, and not to finance cigarettes, weapons, political shows, and sports stadiums. The secret government who is controlling the planet is spending billions of money to keep the population ignorant, with cigarettes and primitive sport events, arena battles with modern gladiators, just like thousands of years ago, to keep Earth people divided in countries, having subconsciously thoughts of hatred towards other people. While in the background they can continue with dark projects in secret underground bases to keep you like slaves. If you want to remove all these negative energies, it must be cured at the energy level, in the cause. Only when the energy on Earth is free of negativity, you can create a lightful reality like on other planets. The most powerful healing force for this is the cosmic energy of love. Many lightworkers and extraterrestrials have incarnated on Earth on purpose, to help in the transformation of the planet. They are acting as a channel for the cosmic light of the existence, to neutralize negative energies, and to help those who are already in this life to become cautious and understand the existence. Only friendly people are able to recognize lightworkers. We lightworkers have nothing to do with any organization or belief system on Earth. We are using the light of the source, the energy of creation. When I do my light energy work alone or with groups, I often use energy places like ancient stone circles, mountains, pyramids, or crop circles to increase the love energy of the group. This powerful energy is spreading through the morphogenetic field across the planet and is lifting the global awareness because everything is interconnected with energy. The more people would use the power of spiritual light, the faster you could free the planet from hate and ignorance, prevent natural disasters, and block the secret government. For many years now, I have led groups to places of power to make real light work. In June 2010, we went to energy places in England. Here you can see the Vorite stone circle. We use the cosmic energy of nature in order to heal the planet. Light has nothing to do with the harmful earth religions or other superstitions. It is the light of the existence. Everything and everyone is part of it. But it depends on how you use that energy. The most earth people have lost the connection to the source because they create hate or live against the laws of nature out of ignorance. Here we are at Glastonbury, and my light ships are always escorting us, camouflaged as a cloud or invisible. If you meet a light worker or visit energetic places, you have to be aware that the high cosmic energy they are radiating will start to clean your energy from any negative energies. If someone has unhealed blocking patterns, negative programs, negative character qualities, if someone is possessed, if somebody is addicted to smoking and alcohol, all these negative energies will come to the surface, so those people can heal themselves. Those who do not recognize this will either attack and blame the light worker or other people. An intelligent person will welcome the love energy and will use it wisely. A cautious person knows the principle of cause and effect and rises to a higher spiritual level in order to become the cautious creation of a cause. True light workers know that every cause has an effect and that any effect has its cause. Even spiritual extraterrestrials who are not incarnated on Earth are helping in the transformation of the Earth and your consciousness. Sometimes they communicate through the universal language of sacred geometry in order to stimulate and heal the planet and yourselves energetically. Here we are at the crop circle at Silbury Hill. Some extraterrestrials create icons with their spaceships by beaming cosmic energy. Some of the higher fine matter dimensions make them only with their minds and are using plasma balls of light. Some crop circle pictograms are even from the consciousness of the Earth itself. In order to understand this language, you have to use your soul as the translator. You have to feel the energy of the crop circles and receive the information within yourself. And if you build up a strong light energy, it could be possible that the dark side will send a black helicopter to investigate this energy. They have secret technology to detect energies on Earth. If you walk inside a real crop circle made from spiritualities with cosmic energy, you should eat some grains of it, so that the information and the energy contained in them can have a stronger effect on your body and consciousness. Those crop circles are corresponding with the sacred geometry in your energy body and are triggering your awareness and sensitivity for the higher frequencies. When we went at the crop circle at Old Sorrow, we stayed until late at night, and after our love meditation for planet Earth, many light ships appeared for us, giving us light signals. Some crop circles are made to help you change your consciousness and energy and speed up your personal evolution. One of these crop circles was the one in Wilton. This corn pictogram shows a spinning wheel, which is symbolizing your spinning wheels inside your chakras. So when you sit in that crop circle, you have to meditate and visualize the crop circle is spinning. This will start to spin your chakras and activate more spiritual awareness for you. With more spiritual awareness, you are able to send and activate the higher vision of love and awareness in others. It is important now to make light work anywhere on the planet, to cleanse all negative energies. Free the planet from diseases, decadence, and egocentric ignorance.
I want to take a pause there because a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the chakras in the human body. We talked about the chakra system. We talked about the fact that our energy systems are like spinning wheels. This is who we are. We are energy. And the earth, in manifesting these spinning wheels, is reminding us that we are, in fact, that higher energy, and that our chakras, our energy centers in our bodies, need to be reawakened and realigned so that we are in harmony. So on a very higher spiritual level, we're being communicated with by the earth itself. Now, crop circles, you can see them from above, and they're very intricate designs. And people are saying, well, who made these? Because they're so geometrically perfect. It's not something somebody can just come with a machete and chop down some stalks of corn and they're going to form this design. It's higher mind, higher science, higher spiritual science. And just go to Google and look up crop circles, and you'll be able to see what some of the theories are that don't make sense, but we've just been told how they are formed. The higher spiritual energy from those from outside our realm that are seeking to remind us that we are connected to the all, the one, the energy of creation we call God. And even this earth upon which we live is trying to awaken that spiritual awareness. If you missed the show about the chakras, it was on Monday Morning Mindfulness. Just go back a couple of weeks and find it. And we'll be hearing another presentation about our chakra system, because we have lost so much of the ancient knowledge about who we are and what we are, and the fact that we're all connected to the entire universal system of energy, that one energy of creation we call God. So let's take a look at some comments here. And from the Higher Learning Network, our sister Zelda says, the more we repeat, share, and respect, we are one, the more we internalize and become it. Ashe. Yes. We must become that consciousness, which means we must care for our brothers and sisters. And shout out to our sister Zelda, who continues to feed those among us who are unhoused and often forgotten, even as they live on the streets right in front of our faces. How can we allow those among us to suffer and feel nothing when we know that we are one then we can't permit suffering of those who are our brothers and sisters. The world is changing because many of us are awakening to this reality, this understanding that we are one, and what you do to another, you do to yourself. And you will experience this reality when you leave this temporary physical body and return to the one, return to the all, return to that energy of creation, and get an opportunity to observe how well you lived in a state of oneness. How did you treat those among you? Did you share love and joy and peace and harmony? How did you use your gifts to enhance life? How did you make others feel in the way you spoke to them, in the way you treated them? Did you share what you had? Did you take what someone else had and withhold from them so that they had difficulties? How did you live in this earth school that tests you by allowing you to live in the illusion that you are separate, to see how you would treat those and what you would create among those with whom you live, believing that they are separate beings from you? Would you still treat them as if they are yourself? Love your neighbor as yourself. That is the way we were advised to live. How well are you living it? In these times, with all of this information coming to us all across the internet, this universal system that is giving us access to knowledge that we previously didn't have, and giving us an opportunity to erase disinformation that caused us to mistreat ourselves and others, there's really little excuse other than we're choosing to hold on to that which is false rather than to grasp that which is true. We are one. So let's begin to act as if we know the truth, because the truth will set us free. I'm Naima Latif. Thank you for joining us today. Join us every day. We are live on the Female Solution, 7 a.m. and again at 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And join us at 12 noon Central Time, Saturday and Sunday. We've got a fabulous team of hosts that's sharing insight, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and opportunities for you to elevate your awareness as well. Join us right here on the Female Solution and all of our YouTube channels and Facebook pages. And if you need to know where we are, you can go to thefemalesolution.com. Gives you the whole listing. And come on back tonight for the on-air daily news hour right here on the Female Solution. Until next time, we want you to continue to shine your light. See you soon.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jareth. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.